Hi guys, welcome back to Let's Chat with DJ Mommy Monday. I hope you guys are doing well, and I kind of got a bit of a hot topic today I wanted to talk to you guys about. I don't know if you guys have seen the NYT's, I have my phone on here, the NYT's Primal Scream. It talks about like the hotline has moms call and they just want to scream. So if you guys haven't read the article or heard about it, I'll just post it down in the description so you guys can kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about. So I got this quote or question, and this is kind of like my take on it, my response on it. Work Wife Collective, they wrote, all these viral moms are losing their minds. Articles are great and all, but is anything changing? We have the spotlight on moms, and everyone seems to agree that we're taking on too much. Now what? Are employers stepping up? Are men stepping up? Or are we just screaming into a void? So I'm just here kind of gonna give you my take on it. And are we screaming into a void? Well, it depends. Like who are you screaming to? So the interesting thing about this is this is nothing new. This is nothing that is just like a 2020 thing. Women have been taking on far too much for generations and generations and generations to come. Like everything else, this pandemic, it heightened everything. Everything went from like 100 to 1,000. And it just became another thing that moms took on. Through the generations, women have just taken. So if you look at times like the 1950s, like everybody fantasizes about that era and how beautiful and how traditional it was. But the issues that we're seeing now in 2020, 2021 have been going on since before the 1950s and after the 1950s. To make a long story short, women were always seen as the primary caretakers. They were always seen as the house belonged to the woman. It was the woman's duties. The woman managed it, and men went out of the home to work to provide financially. Somewhere along history, somewhere along the lines, women were like, okay, we're gonna go work too. And it's not so much like along history. Like if you look at like the wars in the 40s, women, when men went out to war, women worked, right? They worked outside the home, they did factory work, and they kind of kept the economy moving. So that's like your own thing if you want to do history and kind of know, like women have always worked outside the home and have always done things. You just think that this is kind of like a new thing because like we're modern and sometimes we don't look back where we came from and how we got here. But either way, let's get back to it. So as society kept progressing, men came back home for more than the beautiful romanticizing of the 1950s where men worked, whatever. Women somewhere along the 60s and 70s wanted to reclaim their independence and were like, no, we're going back to the workforce, whatever. So then what happened? Here we are, still in the middle of a pandemic, and nothing has changed. You're absolutely right. Men still continue to go to the workforce, and women continue to go to the workforce. What happened is that women still kept doing what? 100% of the household things. What? If we're both working, we both have degrees, we both have careers, we both have all these things going on, but yet I'm still responsible for the house, the cooking, the cleaning, the taking care of the children, the forming of the children, the emotional nurturing, all that stuff. It's still up to me. Somewhere along the line, as we kept getting more responsibilities outside the home, the same responsibilities in the home remain. We were never, and this is, I'm talking about in traditional husband-wife relationships. I'm not talking about like single women, and you guys can take bits and pieces of it. We kept growing outside the home, getting careers, doing stuff, and still coming home to a plethora of things for us to do. So not only were we doing 40, 50-hour work weeks outside the home. We're doing that in the home. So men, as women kept shifting, they weren't shifting with us. They were here, like, let's say this is like the balance, right? If there is a thing. And we kept getting more and more responsibilities outside the home, and they were here. They didn't keep getting more and more responsibilities inside the home. They were just like, hey, I'm the husband, I go out, get the bacon, you come home and cook it. But somewhere along the lines, like I was saying, women were like, hey, we're getting our own bacon, and we still gotta come home and cook this thing and cook it for everybody else and make sure that everything is being managed and everything being taken care of. So what's going on? And it's interesting because as a society, we expect women to work like if they don't have children, and we expect them to mother and parent as if they don't have a job or a career or autonomy or anything else prior to motherhood, womanhood, anything hood, all hoods, right? So there's this society, there's like a disconnect. But we're not really going to talk about society because we will be here 2 days, 20 days, 5,000 years talking about how society has failed us and pretty much uses us when they want and then kind of disposes. That's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what we can control, which is our home. We can't control paternity leave. Excuse me, I have a little sinus thing. We can't control paternity leave. We can't control maternity leave. We can't control these things outside our home. But what I do want to talk to you about is what you can control, and that's your house. That's how you guys operate. That's your day-to-day, right? So that's what we're gonna focus on. So we already talked about like society, and of course I have my little cheat sheet to kind of keep me on track because this is a good topic, and let's go. So let's talk about the family mindset. Family mindset. What do you mean? Like we fall in love, we get married, somewhere along the lines we have kids, and we're here and we try to have a great life for them. And then we retire and then do all those things. No, what is your family mindset, right? How do you operate inside your home? Is it the mindset that like mothering and parenting is solely my responsibility, or child taking care of, child rearing, whatever, is solely my responsibility, or is it a teamwork? And this is where men haven't evolved, and us women, we haven't placed the demand on them, quite frankly. Now in 2021, we're screaming, we're like, yo, we can't do this, this is not okay, this is too much, we're freaking out, we want to throw babies out of the balcony, and it's like, oh my gosh, but we're talking about like generations of just taking it, and then now it's like, no, we're no longer taking it. So when it comes to your family mindset, like, how do you guys function? How do you guys operate? Are you guys still having the traditional, okay, my husband goes out to work, he's the breadwinner, he is the person that brings home the bacon, I cook it, I manage the house, and it's like a separate thing? Or is it more of like a teamwork? Is it a collaborative approach? Is it both parents are working from home or working outside the home, and they're creating a culture where it's more collaborative, it's more of a teamwork, it's more of a business of managing the home. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about, because a lot of times, you know, you say, oh my gosh, moms need help and nobody cares, and it's kind of like, okay, well, who do you reside with? Like, you know, I know throughout the generations, it's always been primarily a woman's role or mom's role to do all of the cooking, the cleaning, the carpooling, the emotional caring, the this, the that. But remember that unbalance that we talked about? You have a parent, somebody who helped you create this human, hopefully in your home. And if they're not in your home, then there's ways that you can go about that. But what is the mindset? What is the approach to managing your home? So the way to go about it is externalizing. It's not like, oh, it's my house or my children, my chores. It's our home, our space, our thing. We all contribute. We all play a part in the management of the house. We all play a role in what needs to be done in order to manage the house. What is the mindset? What is the culture of your house? And this is a perfect example. I see this all the time in sessions of women who are burnt out, who are exhausted, who not only want to scream, they want to throw their babies out the balcony, they want to run away, they want to go to the hospital and stay there for a week because they're so done with their families. And I'll be like, okay, so what does your partner do? Well, they help sometimes, you know, they do the dishes maybe, or, you know, they help. And it's like, remember like when you were in school and like the teachers used to like run their fingernails through like a chalkboard? Like that's what it does to my ears. What you mean your partner helps? Like no, it's co-parenting, it's co-operating your house. You know, most people think about co-parenting when there's a divorce or there is a separation or like baby mama, baby daddy drama thing, right? Oh yeah, we co-parent. But can you imagine how many people are married or reside in the same house and don't co-parent? They don't work together for the benefit of their children, for the benefit of their household. You know, they're like passing ships. One person comes, does whatever the other they need to do, then the other person continue going. There's no collaboration, there's no teamwork, there's no of nothing. And this goes on for years and years and years and years as women become more and more and more disgruntled and more bitter and more angry and more toxic because you don't advocate for yourself in your own relationships. You have this whole adult who helped you create these children, who helped or not helped or said that they wanted to create a life with you, but you guys aren't creating a life. This person is going out to do whatever they're doing and you're managing the rest of the household. And that's fine if that works for you guys as dynamics, but I want to talk to the people that it's no longer working. This is not okay. You have to demand more of your partner, and how that looks like is going to vary from household to household. Because like I said, some women are like, oh, it's okay, they help. I'm not okay with you helping. We all live under this roof. We all contribute to this house. We all dirty, eat, poop, and sleep in this house. I am not okay with somebody helping around the house. The culture in our house is everybody is responsible for their space. Everybody contributes. It's very independent. Everybody does their thing. When it's time to clean, we all clean. When it's time to do chores, we all do chores. When it's time for my child to clean her room, guess it's your room, your bathroom, your space. You manage it. I clean my space and vice versa. It's a collaborative approach. We all live here and we all do it. Of course, there's certain things that we all prefer over the other. And we pick and choose, okay, I prefer to do this, you prefer to do this. But for the overall household, it's a collaborative approach. But it's based on your philosophy, on your take and how you want your house to run. I don't want my house to run where I'm spent 90% of the time running the house, cooking, cleaning, going to dentist appointments, ballet, all this stuff, and then I still have to run my career and manage what I do, because I will not be releasing that, honey. I like to bring home the bacon, but I don't mind spending yours, you know? So you really have to kind of like figure that stuff out, because women keep taking and taking and taking and taking. But who said we have to take it? Who said? Just because you're giving it, that doesn't mean I need to take it. And no, absolutely not. Look at the culture of your family. Look at the culture of how it's operating. Look how you say, oh, well, can somebody help me? No, I don't need help. I need you as a child to know that your space is your responsibility. I need you to know, husband, that we're in a partnership, that we're in a collaboration of our lives. We are life's partner. life's partners. We are life partners and we are doing life together. So doing life together means that, you know what, I do the dishes and you do the laundry, because that is what life needs from us right now. And those are honest conversations that you need to talk about, because women, unfortunately, you take and you take and you take and you take, and then you blow up, and then it's like you're mad. It's like, okay, yes, be mad that all of this is on you, but it starts gradually. When one thing starts piling up, this doesn't feel good, you don't speak up. Another thing piles up, this really doesn't feel good, you don't speak up. Another thing piles up, and then when you're drowning and you're suffocating, now you want to advocate. The first second something doesn't sit well with your soul, your spirit, your body, your mind, your whole essence, you have to speak up and address it with your partner. When something doesn't feel good, when it's not right, when it's unfair, when it's not just, when you don't feel your balance, when you feel that you're not okay, you need to be able to speak up. So I'm actually still looking at my little notes. So we talked about finding balance, traditional versus like more modern, and making sure that, you know, you're not keep taking, and the other partner that's supposed to be helping you is doing -0. One of the biggest things also to kind of talk about finding balance in running the home is obviously asking for help, delegating. I spoke in my previous video of, and I can link it. Are you a Mary or are you a Martha? A lot of women are Marthas. They're doing, and nothing gets done. You know, and you have to find ways to make your life easier. And like I said in that video, does it need to be done now? Does it need to be done by you? Does it need to be done at all? You have to really be wise in how you manage your time. You only have a certain amount of hours during the day. You only have a certain amount of time with your children in this developmental stages. Be very wise of that, and even think back of the memories that you had with your parents, with your mother. What were the things that stood out, and invest in those moments, and not invest in everything. Because you're not going to be able to do everything. That's the thing about balance. They say, oh, you know, there has to be balance. There has to be, you know, a way for everything to be done. No, certain things are not going to get done. And like I said, if you have a partner in the home, use them. Let them parent. I know so many women who have this mindset, again, in their family mindset. Well, you know, he doesn't do it how I do it, or, you know, the kids prefer me. No shit, they prefer you. You incubated them in your body. They sucked the soul out of you. Of course they're gonna prefer you, but that doesn't mean that you do not allow your partner to parent. You do not allow your partner to pour into his children. Just because you're gonna pour into your children some gluten-free, organic, homemade 5-star meal, the Lunchable he's getting ready to pour into them is just as valuable. Sometimes, you know, women have this mindset that if I do it, it's going to be the best way for my child or for my children. And the other parent, the father can deliver. Can deliver. Maybe not to the standard that you feel you need for your children, or the standard they're accustomed to, but believe me, your children are so happy that their father's also pouring into their lives the same way, and they can be creative and they can make traditions out of it. Allow your partner to parent the children that you guys created together. I don't know who needed to hear that, but let your husband do some of the work, even though it's not up to your standards. Let it go. Let it go. The children do not care. They really don't. They just want to be loved. They want attention. They want discipline. They want stability. They don't care about a lot of things that we harp on, and us as women think that they do when they don't. So in a nutshell, and hopefully this video made sense and gave you some clarity, in order to have some balance, and kind of like how we were like, this is like the balance and all this stuff, you gotta do less. That's it. take some weight off. Take some weight off and you'll see it come right back down. And in closing, take some notes from your husband. Husbands are the most wonderful, amazing humans, but they put their needs first before anybody else's. And if it's one thing that you can learn, is be like your husband. Be more selfish, be more focused on what makes you feel better, put you first, and do the bare minimum. And you'll be happier. Okay, so that's all for today for Mommy Monday. I know it was a lot. I know it was very passionate, and it went 1,000 miles per hour. But like I said, society has the cards stacked against us to a certain degree. So we have to make them be more in our favor. In that sense, society is going to do what they're going to do, but you can only control your home, and not even, because the house can be chaotic. You can only influence your home. And I leave you with this, like for real, now I'm leaving. You can either put into boiling water, right? Like this whole pandemic put us all into boiling water. You put a carrot in there, you put an egg in there, and you put in a coffee bean into that same boiling water. The carrot will go into mush and be useless. The egg will transform and become a boiled egg. But the coffee bean, you put that coffee bean into boiling water, that coffee bean is going to transform the water. And guess what? You get banging coffee. So I hope that this situation and this life in this pandemic doesn't make you all mushy and all hard and unyummy. And I hope it doesn't transform your soft, nurturing inside to like a hard egg yolk. I hope that this season transforms, that you are able to transform the water and make it coffee, because you're a coffee bean and you can transform this to your favor. You don't have to let this pandemic come in and destroy you, but you can advocate for yourself. So till next time, I'll talk to you later. My name